Drew, how
Hi,
are
Paul.
you? How
Oh,
are you? How are you?
been a little bit, huh?
It's been a bit. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
It's all right.
by way of explanation, right? So we were scheduled to record 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to cancel extremely last minute because I wasn't feeling very well.
It
And
happens.
last week
Yeah.
was Halloween and trick or treat,
Mm-hmm.
so it just had to take a couple weeks off. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that all six of our listeners really missed us.
Yeah. I'm sure they noticed right away. Where's the episode?
Yeah,
Yep.
where's the episode,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really a test. Oh, my dog's peeing. Great, good job, Vito.
Oh,
I'm watching him on camera.
okay. Okay.
All right.
Uh,
Um,
weird kink, but whatever.
don't judge me. I mean,
Oh.
who am I kidding? What kind of podcast would this be? Okay.
Oh.
All right. I just want to start off by saying that I'm a degenerate.
You're a degenerate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, I mean, aren't we all in some way? Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, I bought another gun.
Oh, you just can't help yourself, can you? Oh.
Yeah. So in the two intervening weeks, since we talked,
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite gun companies made a really sad announcement.
Oh.
Um, yeah, and that is the um, FN Herstal, which makes the SCAR platform. We've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
They basically have decided to discontinue those guns. Now, I think that they are phenomenal firearms. I own one. I own the 5.56 version, which is like the typical military round one. But I had been kicking around picking up one of the heavier caliber ones, probably the SCAR 17, which is a 7.62 by 51 NATO round gun. And I had planned on kind of making that sort of like a mid-range, just kind of fuck around type gun. Unfortunately, FN has decided that they're going to stop making them and selling them.
Hmm.
So, what that has led to has been a run on the inventory that has been remaining, and it is shocking because I was literally on a website called Kentucky Gun Company. They have a really nice online store. Really, like they carry a pretty large inventory, and their website is actually like one of the better gun websites because it's like all the filters work. And like nothing
Oh,
is,
okay.
yeah, like
Yeah.
they're whatever. I mean, they obviously employ some sort of DBA because like everything is searchable and everything is filterable. It's actually a pretty pleasant experience. But they had a few in stock, and literally the day after that it became known that they were discontinuing this, like they sold their entire inventory of every model of SCAR.
Yeah. Okay.
And now, really, your only chances of picking one up are on the used market or going on gunbroker.com and picking one up from what is essentially a scalper who has like the new in box and everything. So that was really disappointing. And you know me, I like to buy guns, I like to shoot guns. So, it really got me thinking, would I have an opportunity to pick up another gun this year? And I did. So what I ended up buying was the Heckler and Koch MR762, which is the same caliber of the SCAR that I was looking at. It is the A4 version of the gun. When you look at different guns, this is like a Halo product.
Okay.
It is extremely expensive. It was if you're actually on that link, it lists the manufacturer's suggested retail price, which you should expect to pay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it
You
there.
will, you will not usually find them for less than that.
Mhm.
If you do, it'll be a couple $100s at best. So I was traveling last week. I had to go to Nashville for work, and on my way home from Nashville, I found myself at a particular gun store, and they had one, and I was like, you know what, game time decision, got to go for it. So I picked that up instead. So it's no SCAR, but it's up there in terms of
Okay.
quality and accuracy and everything. So had to make room in the safe for that. And of course, Paul, HK does things a little bit differently. This is known as an AR-10 pattern gun, which is like the same as an AR-15, but it's a heavier caliber. Now most AR-10s take regular, what we call Knight's Armament 7.62 AR-10 pattern magazines, like AR-10 pattern steel magazines. No, not HK. You have to buy proprietary magazines to
Of
use
course.
this.
Okay. Okay.
I had to buy a couple of those. Also picked up a new suppressor that's in suppressor jail right now, and I'm waiting for
Yes.
Black Friday to see if I can get a good deal on an optic. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
total degenerate behavior. Total degenerate behavior.
We all have our things. It's
We
fine.
do. We
Yep.
do. So anyway, I won't. People are probably sick of me talking about guns, but I had to mention it. So, what else we want to talk about here?
I just want to say we're coming up on almost 300 episodes, Drew. Almost.
And we haven't run out of stuff to talk about.
We haven't. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What do we want to do?
I don't know. We should do something. I don't know what it is, but we should do something.
I mean, if we keep our current pace, that will probably line up right around Christmas break.
It could. Oh, that's true. That's true. We got to do. Yeah, it's almost time for Christmas. Yeah, yeah. Our annual tradition.
We should definitely do something weird.
We should do something weird.
We should do something weird.
I like weird. Well, we chew on that for a bit. So we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out.
I mean, we started this. What was the date we recorded our first episode?
Oh, I can tell you that.
It was during COVID times, right?
Yeah.
Or was it before COVID?
We recorded it on May 30th, 2019.
That was before COVID, right?
It was. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like shortly after I left IGS and started at Microsoft.
Yep. Yeah.
Man, 2019, 6 years we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So averaging, hold on, carry the.
I mean, it's
averaging,
yeah,
averaging once a week for 6 years.
Yeah, almost once a week. Yeah.
Almost once a week for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Like we have managed to talk to each other because this, hey, listeners. This isn't for you. This is for us. We've managed to keep in touch and talk to each other for 6 years. I think that's special. I think that's actually pretty impressive.
It's great. Yeah. And we honestly we did this we did it as an excuse to buy some microphones, but we also did it as an excuse to keep talking to each other after we stopped working together. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're listening and you have ideas, we would love to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to get Eric Darling back on the podcast.
Yeah. Get another 3-way going.
He just had a birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's very important these days. He's going to be out in Seattle for a big conference here pretty soon.
Fancy.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get him.
Okay.
We gotta really think about this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about electronic stuff next. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? I think you should go first.
You sure? You sure?
Yeah, because my next topic sort of goes to the next one.
Okay. I am going to keep the ASUS ROG Xbox Ally X. Boy, that name gets worse every time I say it.
Okay, so help me understand your thought process, because you didn't sound super into it.
Okay, so what it comes down to, Drew, it is just so goddamn comfortable to hold. I've had a lot of handhelds. I've put weird grip things on switches before. I've done all kinds of weird stuff. It's so comfortable to hold. It is unbelievable how well designed this ugly black weird shaped thing is to actually be in the hand. I mean, and it's got problems like the Xbox full screen experience right now, 2 thumbs way down. It's not good. It's buggy as heck. I end up just using Armory Crate. It's got too many buttons. Like 3 out of 3 buttons basically do the exact same thing. They could have just does it need 5 buttons? They could have done exactly what an Xbox controller had, and it would have been fine with 3 buttons. And of course, it's Windows. Sleep and resume doesn't work well on handhelds with Windows at all, especially if you're coming from something that runs Linux like a Steam Deck or something running Bazite, where it just does exactly what you think it's going to do all the time. So I've resorted to putting using Hibernate instead of Sleep. It's problematic to, if you've got like 4 places to get updates. uh Sometimes like Steam opens and the window is bigger than your resolution, so you have to like change the resolution like to get it to like resize and back. uh if you have a game where like so like, you remember how like, okay, I've been replaying Batman Arkham City, great game. But on PC, this was kind of like the thing at the time, where like your video settings weren't in the game. You first had this little pre-app that launched, and you can
Yep.
change the settings in there.
Yep.
If your game has one of those, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's a weird size. Everything is like, it's blurry. Sometimes when you launch a game, it just doesn't bother to change that window to be active. It's got problems galore, but games run really well on it, and it's a delight to hold. So it's going to have a spot in my collection. In fact, I put a larger SSD in it last week. So
Ooh.
I'm keeping, I cracked her open. And yeah, I'm keeping it.
All right. So,
Mhm.
couple things.
Mhm.
Let's start with the SSD upgrade.
Mhm.
How did that compare to doing it on the Steam Deck?
Just as easy. I mean, granted, this uses the Steam Deck uses one of those small weird SSDs. This one uses a regular size one. It's real easy. You've got like maybe 10 screws on the back. You just, and then break out your little like guitar picks and pop the clips, and there's plenty of room to work around in there. I didn't even have to like detach the battery, even though I probably should have, because electricity. But it was easy. It took maybe 10 minutes tops.
Okay.
And then it took like an hour to like reinstall Windows on it and get everything back and running. But yeah, it was fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, you mentioned that it's really comfortable to hold.
Mhm.
Now, I know one of the things that you and I disagree on
Mhm.
is what the superior console controller is.
Yeah, I mean, do I wish it had symmetrical thumbsticks like a PlayStation? Absolutely. But you choose your battles. So
Okay.
yeah.
But it's comfortable to hold though.
Yeah, those stupid little ugly ear wing thingies. It's great. It's great. They did a really good job of on the ergonomics there. You kind of just tuck your fingers around. Your fingers are close to the back buttons, but not like, you're not in risk of hitting them accidentally. It's just it, I can, even though this device weighs a little bit more than the previous one, it's obviously the heaviest handheld I own by far. It is the one I can play the longest.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of length of time,
Mm-hmm.
how long like do you normally play it? Are you running the battery down or is it always plugged in?
No, I use the battery quite a bit, though. I do, if I sometimes, like, if I know I'm going to come back to it throughout the day, like on a weekend, I will like plug it in the living room and let it sit on the couch and come back to it. But uh I mean, if you're playing a demanding game and you have to run it at 25-30 watts, you get an hour and 20 minutes, which is fine. That's honestly about as long as like my longest gaming sessions are anyway, because adulting. uh but if you're playing at like 17 watts, like, it lasts like 3-4 hours. And if you're playing something less intensive, like, I don't know, like a Dave the Diver or a Dredge, and you can get it down all the way to like 10-12 watts, it lasts for like 5 hours. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty
So
good.
yeah. So it really just depends on what kind of games you're playing, and like, it's a trade-off, right? Like, you can always drop the game settings down to lower and lower the resolution so you can play at a lower TDP and get more battery out of it, or you can crank things up and have a little bit less, and depends on what you want to play and stuff. But like I said, like Arkham City, it's an older game. I'm running it at probably like medium settings at 1080p. I'm getting easily 60 frames a second consistently. I think I may have some settings on high, and that would last like that's on 17 watts, and that would last like 3 hours. So,
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now you mentioned you're replaying the Arkham series of games.
I'm playing Arkham City, which I believe to be the best one. Yes.
Okay, so those have always been like in my backlog of games to play. I've never played them, and I know they're good.
Yeah.
So
Arkham Origins is all right.
Okay, so what are the three in like canonical order? What's the original?
Arkham Asylum,
Asylum,
and then Arkham City, and then Arkham Knight. Yeah.
Okay, Arkham Asylum, Arkham
City, and then Arkham Knight. Yeah.
Arkham Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And you're playing
City, the
middle one.
Mm-hmm. I think is the best one. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why?
Okay, so obviously as each game, so all of them are great. They all have great stories. I mean, I would play them in order. Arkham Knight, the Arkham Knight still to this day looks incredible. What Rocksteady did with that game is still bonkers. It looks amazing. And it's fun, except one of the things that they did in Arkham Knight is they introduced the Batmobile. And like the first time you're getting in the Batmobile and you're driving around and you're going into battle mode and you're blowing up these tanks, it's real fun. Like the 10th time you do it, and it's just like a never-ending parade of drones. You're just like, God, can this be over, please?
Okay.
It just stops being fun, and there's some really kind of drawn out, like, yeah, it's like someone like, yeah, no, we need to have like 12 hours of Batmobile gameplay, or this game's gonna be shit. It's like, no, dude, like you could have just left it out. It's fine, but it's all right. It's all right.
Now, who did the voices for those games?
That is Mark Hamill as the Joker, and
that's what I thought.
Kevin Connolly, is that his name? Was Batman? Like it's the Batman voice. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's the animated series cast, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember watching people play it.
Kevin Conroy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Except in Origins, they have different voice actors. They're fine. Origins is technically time-wise before Arkham Asylum, but you don't need to play it. It's fine. It's made by a different developer. It's different voices. It's fine. It's got some really good boss fights, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else are you playing on it?
I've been playing of course I'm playing Deep Rock Galactic Survivor because I like dwarves digging mines, and I have been playing the original, not the most recent sequel, the original, The Outer Worlds, because I have never.
Yeah, the new one came out, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah,
and you'd never played the first one.
Nope.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's you definitely can see the Fallout New Vegas roots. So yeah, I mean, obviously the new one came out. The original one was on sale. I was like, shit, like $12, no brainer. Let's play it. So. And it runs really well on the Steam Deck. So, that Steam Deck, the ASUS ROG Xbox Ally X, it plays pretty good on there. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
I know that was not a small investment.
No. But I'm done with handhelds, at least through the end of the year.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Even though there's some really interesting ones that I want to buy, I'm not spending any more money.
I want to, before we hop off this topic though, I want to ask you if you're still playing Civilization 7.
I come back to it and pick at it. It just hasn't gripped me like some of the older ones. Yeah.
So have you seen the recent news about that?
Nope.
So there was a big patch that just came out recently, but the developer announced that the next patch that comes out after that, they are going to give you the option to turn off that switching civilization feature.
Oh,
Which
okay.
I remember you talking about the game, and that was like a quote unquote feature. I had a hard time wrapping my head around that.
Yeah, it's even without that, it's the switching between ages. Like you're playing Civilization, you get in this like you get into this state where you know where everything's happening and what's going on, and like okay, I'm in the middle of a war over here, and I'm trying to explore over here, and expand my civilization, and then an age hits. And like the whole game, like your cities are still there mostly, but like all of your units are like gone and different, and everything kind of resets, and it's so jarring because like like Civilization's always about like getting into that state and that one more turn,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Mm-hmm.
such a like just such a it just hits you right in the gut. It's like, okay, screw all of that. You got to figure everything else out again. Ta-da! And I don't know. Again, it hasn't hooked me like some of the older ones. So
Ah, bummer.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I saw that. I was like, huh, I wonder how long Paul continued to play that.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
All right. Paul, guess what time it is?
it's time for Drew's Computer Corner.
Yep. So, as you can imagine,
Mhm.
when you fuck around with computers and build computers as much as I do, you end up
Mhm.
with a lot of spare parts.
You can, yes. In
You
fact,
can.
my son's gaming PC is mostly your spare parts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, currently, my home lab, I've really consolidated. I used to have old rack mount servers and like older networking switching gear, like stuff that I used to like learn how to do stuff. But I've really consolidated, and frankly, a lot of that stuff was really old, and it's just e-waste. And I ended up taking it to like a specialized recycling center to dispose of it, and like all the hard drives out of it, and all that other stuff. But with all the spare parts I have, like my home lab right now is my Ubiquity switching and networking gear and wireless gear. And I basically have two desktop computers that operate as my lab environment.
Mhm.
Now, when I say operate as my lab environment, both of them have motherboards that have onboard uh, networking, right? So, like an onboard, like RJ45 plug.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty common
Um,
these days. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I have like some 10 gig network cards that I've got plugged into them. So, when I'm doing like virtual machines on there, I can basically have the virtual machines run on a completely different network, isolated from the core networking
Nerd.
of
Excuse me.
the well, there's reasons because like sometimes I
Yeah.
run those things exposed to the internet or allow pass through stuff. So I have like there's a method to my particular kind of mental illness. But so I have these two computers that are cobbled together, and they run things like my Plex server, and they run things like Kubernetes and Docker. And
Yeah.
I also I have one of those machines as a dedicated streaming interface. So like on my computer when I'm gaming, it's literally just capturing my screen and sending that to this other computer in my lab that actually does the encoding and uploading to Twitch.
Yeah.
So I offload a little bit of that processing versus trying to do it myself. Is it really helping? Maybe, maybe not. And like there's a little bit of jank with the additional delay that adds to the stream. So I have kind of to fuck with like delay, like artificial
Yeah.
delay and all this other stuff. But anyway, so one of the ideas that I've really been like kicking around in my head is taking some of this lab equipment and really, really going deep into generative AI on it.
Oh, okay.
Now let's level set. So when it comes to the raw processing power that I have in my lab, these are literal desktop computers.
Mhm.
Okay, so both of them have, I guess you would say, two generation old AMD processors. One is a 12 core, one is a 16 core. The bigger of the two has 64 gigs of RAM. The smaller one has 16. and then I have my old NVIDIA 3090, and I have a graphics card from 2 times ago, which was a Titan X, which for its time had 16 gigs of video RAM, which was like unheard of back then. So when it comes to a lot of this generative AI stuff, it's usually how much video RAM do you have, then how much physical RAM do you have, then how much CPU power do you have. So what I did the other day is the computer that had the NVIDIA 3090 in it, I decided that I was going to make that my sort of generative AI playground.
Okay.
So I downloaded a bunch of utilities. I started fucking around. And then I quickly realized that I had 2 problems. The first problem is that 16 gigs of RAM is not enough.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, those models are pretty big. Yeah.
Yep. Even, I mean, because what's happening is it's trying to fit a lot of the stuff into the video memory, but stuff that spills out, and some of the models just run in regular RAM. Like there's not an option to load some of the models and some of my workflows into video memory, because I'm loading the other models into like the big image libraries into that. But that's not what the topic here is. Like I could do a whole separate podcast on that. So that was problem number 1. So what I did is, this is an older machine. It's DDR4. We're up to DDR5 now. So I'm a little limited in my upgrade options. Now, this motherboard has 4 memory slots. The 2, like I'm using 2 slots now. They're both 8 gig chips. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to go see. I'm going to go out to microcenter.com. I'm going to see what kind of memory they have in stock. And I'm going to try to figure out, like, can I upgrade this? Short answer, yes. So
it's Micro Center. Yeah,
Micro Center still carries a decent amount of DDR4 memory. Not as much, like it's clearly dropped off, but they still have some kits. Now, if you've ever built a computer, you might know what the acronym QVL stands for.
QVL. I don't.
Qualified vendor list.
Oh,
compatibility, right?
That kind of bullshit. Okay.
Because again, for those of you who've never had the pleasure of building a computer before, your motherboard really ultimately determines what type of processor you put on it and what type of memory configuration you can use.
Yeah.
These motherboard manufacturers go out of their way to test as many possible configurations of memory type, memory speed, memory capacity, memory configuration, like 1 slot, 2 slot, 4 slot. They really go out of their way to make sure. Now, I pulled up the QVL list from my motherboard that is now 4 years old. And that's a lifetime in computer terms.
Right.
And I went and looked what they had at Micro Center. None of them are on the list. Now, I looked at the memory I currently have. I looked at the memory speed and the timings, and lo and behold, they sell 16 gig sticks of the same timings, of the same brand, of the same speed. So I was like, that has to work. So I went to Micro Center the other day and I bought 2 32 gig kits. Reasonably priced, about $150 for pop. So not cheap, but not an outrageously expensive upgrade to basically take this to where it needs to be. So I got home, powered down the machine, took the 2 RAM sticks out, and then proceeded to attempt to put the 4 RAM sticks into my computer. Paul?
Huh? Did that go well?
I bent a RAM stick.
How did you fucking bent? I mean, I know it is possible, but like, what did you do? Like, it's not easy.
Okay, so
did you? Okay,
come into my mind palace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, Paul,
Mm-hmm.
picture the canonical motherboard.
Mm-hmm. I'm picturing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there are slots on the motherboard for memory.
There sure are. Yeah, usually 4.
Usually 4.
Sometimes more.
There are 4. There are 4 in this case. Okay, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Where on the motherboard do you normally encounter these slots for the memory?
Oh, I mean, usually they're it's been a while. Usually they're pretty close to where the CPU socket is.
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what do we put on top of our CPU?
Well, that depends on how crazy you are, but some sort of method to cool the CPU.
Yep. So I currently have a closed loop cooler. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
But Paul, it's got nubs.
Yeah.
And those nubs overlap just a bit
Oh no.
over one of the memory slots.
Oh no, your cooler was too big.
Cooler too big. So I put in I basically put 2 sticks in to replace the 2 sticks that were there, leaving a stick because like if you've ever done this again, like picture the 4 memory slots. What you normally have to do is you have to put a slot, then an empty slot, then a slot, then an empty slot in some sort of configuration. Now, left to right, right to left, like it varies by motherboard. You have to read the manual. Please read the fucking manual. Anyway, replace the 2 that were there. And then I put the 3rd stick in the gap in between the 2. And then I tried to put the 4th one in. And it became very apparent to me. I'm like, uh-oh. And like, these are braided, rubber hoses with like braiding over them. And where they go into the cooler, there is like a large rubber protuberance. Now it rotates. So like it rotates like 90 degrees in either direction. So you got a little bit of play. So I attempted to squeeze that 4th stick in there and it just wasn't going to go. And I was like, okay. I was like, I got this. So I took the slot next to it out. So I had a little more play. And then I was like wedging it in there. And I was like, I thought I heard it click. I thought I heard it click. And I'm like wiggling it. And then like this particular memory is the G.Skill Trident Z. And of course it's got like LEDs.
Of course. So it's taller than it needs to be, probably.
Well, the height wasn't the problem. It's just the width. If this had just been a regular no frills DDR4 stick, like, you know, go ask like Grok to like draw a picture of a RAM stick, right? Like that's what you would get. That would have worked fine. But this is like, you know, it's got the memory and then it has like the cladding for the heatsink and then it's got the LED strip on top. I was wiggling it and trying to get it in there, trying to force it. And I'm like, God, you're almost there. And then I heard snap and it broke the heatsink and it broke the plastic piece that covers up the LEDs.
Oh no.
Now, at first I was like, well, that fucking sucks. But then I noticed on the motherboard that the socket was a little askew.
Uh-oh.
So I done fucked it good.
Oh, Drew. Oh no.
And Paul, like, I'm not that strong of a guy. I'm really not. Like, I work out. I play a lot of video games, got a lot of grip strength.
Yeah.
I've never done that before. Like the angle that I was trying to put it in at, plus like trying to like basically push the cooler out of the way so I could get it in there, led to like a perfect storm of circumstances. So I'm out probably. I don't think I can return this in good faith. Like I could probably put it like if I really wanted to be a shithead, the box has a clear slot. I could put the good one in the clear slot and take my chances, but you know what? I would hate to have that happen to me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that. But I think I'm going to take the good one back and try to get like a 64 gig kit.
Okay.
But I've never had that happen before. And then like I'm like, oh fuck, did I just break my motherboard? But I left the 2 good sticks in there. I ran a memory test tool and everything's fine. Okay. So that was the first problem. But I still had another problem, Paul. I don't know if you've attempted to fuck with some of this local image generation stuff.
No, I have no need for it. I got ChatGPT. I'm good.
Okay. Well, I have more time than money these days.
Okay.
But the tool that I use is a program called Comfy UI. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay, so here's what Comfy UI is. So if you actually go out to that web page, if
Hmm.
you Google search it,
I did. Yep.
um, and you like there's this thing called local Comfy UI, and what they do is
Hmm.
it basically it is a Python native program. Now you can download a like quote unquote compiled version of it for Windows and Mac.
Hmm.
Or if you don't want to download that application, you can basically clone the GitHub. It's got all the scripts, it's got all the code. You can just run it locally. So it's like a little more portable. So you've got a lot of choices.
Hmm.
Um, the problem is on Windows, it's a huge pain in the ass to get to work with some of the models because like a lot of these models, whether it's like image generation, video generation, uh, some of the more advanced stuff requires like CUDA libraries for your video card. It requires like specific Python libraries that are compiled a certain way, like actual like natively like C compiled shit. And the versions for Windows just do not work sometimes. And I've also noticed that there's all these different compatibility issues that you'll run into with like versions of Python on Windows and some of the
Oh,
libraries that you
Python's a
use.
mess. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. It's
it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
no shame in that. So I was able to, get it to work. But like some of the models, some of the workflows, and again, the reason that Comfy is so popular is like when a new model comes out, the community for this thing is amazing. What it is, Paul, is it's basically drag and drop workflows for like, start with this image, send the image to this next step that like describes it or sends it to a LoRa or generates a video and then saves the video or extracts images or adds audio. You like there's all these different nodes you can add. And there's nodes that are part of like the default Comfy install. There's a million libraries, like third-party nodes you can add that like give you more options or let you do different things. So it's a really, really neat way to do it. But the other thing is people share their workflows. So if you ever go out to like the Stable Diffusion subreddit, for example, people will share their workflows. They're basically just glorified JSON files at the end of the day. But you load them up into your Comfy UI. It will tell you like, oh, you don't have this node or you don't have this model. Go download it, or I'll download it for you. So it's actually a pretty slick way of doing it versus like trying to use some giant web UI that basically just translates all the different drop downs into some like arcane Python command. You see what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
So you can actually download this for the Mac if you wanted to try
I'm
it.
I'm getting it installed right now.
Yeah. And then like once you get it installed, if you go to like the templates,
Mhm.
um, they give you out of the box like video generation, image generation, text to video, text to image, like all the latest popular models. It's really slick. But like I said, it's a pain in the ass to get on Windows. So once I got this other computer stable, I said, you know what? I'm going back to Linux because both of these were running Windows, both were running Hyper-V. I was like, you know
Mhm.
what? I'm going to do this the right way. I'm going to use a Linux machine to get this done. Now, that's fine. I have no problems with Linux, but I'm installing a desktop version of Linux because I need a UI to be able to work on this on. Now, that's where the second problem comes in.
Okay.
Both of these machines are headless. In other words, they're not hooked up to a keyboard or a mouse.
Mhm.
So I need a way to interact with them. Now, in the
You do.
past, what I have done is I have like temporarily hooked up a monitor and a keyboard, installed Linux, and then once it's like, yep, you're up and running, and I can remote SSH into it or whatever, I'm usually good to go, off to the races.
Mhm.
And in the past, I have relied on XRDP, which is an open source RDP library, remote desktop protocol library. So like you could use your Windows remote desktop software to basically remote into a
Yeah.
Linux
Yeah.
machine. But I have found that to be not the best experience. And here's why. Everything you do in that session is software powered. There's no hardware acceleration. that you take advantage of. So like you might install a really slick desktop manager or do
Yeah.
certain things. The color range never looks right. The animations don't work. Transparency doesn't work. And I've tried a million different things, tried a million different hacks to try to get it to work. I've never been successful. So I don't know like what to do about that. So I just decided that I was going to, I was going to try something different. So what I ended up buying was a remote KVM.
A remote KVM?
Yes.
What is that witchcraft?
Okay, I'm going to show you.
Link.
I'm getting there.
Mm.
Let me see if I can find it here. Products. Oh, I do not like this website. Okay. I bought from the same company that makes my travel router.
Sorry, nerd.
A Comet remote KVM over internet.
Remote KVM. Okay.
That is also PoE.
Okay. So, I know what a KVM is.
Mm-hmm.
What is a remote KVM?
All right.
Does that mean you can use like your keyboard and mouse at your desk and your computer somewhere else, and then
yes.
it just okay.
Yep. Huh. So here's what this is. This is a little device that is power over Ethernet, meaning all I have to do is plug in the powered over Ethernet socket, so just RJ45, and then plug in an HDMI cable from the device to my computer and a USB cable from the device to my computer. Then I can either, the way I'm doing it right now is once the device is powered up and online, you log into it in a web browser and you are using that device remotely. If you have ever used like Azure's remote desktop to get into a VM, like Azure Bastion, it's exactly that.
Okay.
It is exactly that. And it works. It works really well, actually. So I actually have it up in my browser. I actually have it up here right now on my computer. And it is a fully functional window. Because it's on my local network, it's blazingly fast. I have like the quality turned up to maximum. You can basically specify. Go ahead.
I was saying, like, what kind of resolution can you get with that thing?
So up to 4K 30 hertz.
Huh.
Now I'm running 1440p at 60 hertz just because I like to smooth this a little bit more.
Okay.
Now, is it perfect? No. Like there's no, like if you want to use the clipboard, you first have to like use like there's like a special like scratch pad in like the web UI where it's like paste it here and then you can paste it from that in.
Got it.
Like there's some remote desktop habits that die a little bit hard. Now supposedly they make a desktop app that lets you do this too versus using it in a web browser. I have not tried that yet because honestly I've been able to get onto this computer, run my Linux desktop, full-fledged like accelerated experience, and it works great. It works great. And the fact that it's power over Ethernet is really nice because, that means there's literally just one cable that runs from, my router, which has a ton of power over Ethernet ports to it. And it has a lot of other stuff too. And there's also Tailscale integration. So if you wanted to use Tailscale to get to this device remotely, you can.
Okay.
Because it's like the protocol's built into it.
I do like Tailscale. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like you could like plug this into your Mac, and instead of running a Tailscale client on your Mac, it runs on this, and then you would just connect to it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a clever little device. So I've been using it for the past couple of days now. I've gotten used to it. I think it works extremely well for what it is, and it's reasonably priced for it too. And then like you can also use like virtual media. So if you wanted to, like let's say I had a file on my computer that I absolutely needed to get on, like the remote computer, I could like basically take a bunch of files, drag it to like a little storage disk. And it basically will mount a quote unquote USB stick on the remote device where I can then drag the files out. It's pretty neat. And there's other stuff too. Like you can put a virtual keyboard on the screen. There are shortcuts where you can like basically create shortcut keys that you can click that send the commands to the remote. There's also like a built-in terminal for this thing if you wanted to like really get nasty and ribbled with it. Going full screen, the quality is really good. So what it's basically doing is you can determine like what mode you want. There's web RTC H.264 compression, and there's also direct H.264 compression. I'm using the direct just because, again, it's local network. I have all the bandwidth in the world. It's not a problem. Yeah, no, it's really good. It's really fucking good, actually. And it makes using the Linux desktop remotely just better. Like I know, listen, nerds, I know VNC is still very much a protocol.
Yeah.
But I like this. I like the fact that I can just have this thing plugged in. I'll probably buy another one to hook up to my other computer. So this it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2-pack for $213. Not bad.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's a neat little thing. So I so now I've like consolidated. So what I ended up doing, like the code of the story is I basically took the best parts of both computers, right? So I took the 3090 out of the other one, put it in the machine with 64 gigs of RAM. I gave up 4 processor cores in the bargain. But that's like the least of my worries there. So
yeah.
So it's pretty good stuff.
Cool.
All right, dealer's choice in the time we have left. Do you want me to talk about this, or do you want to talk about yours?
Why don't we save mine to next week? Because it'll sit. Mine will sit. Which is why,
Okay.
Yeah.
We hired Vito a tutor.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I haven't met the little guy yet, but from what I've heard, he feels like he's a little ball of energy.
He has a little ball of energy. So Vito is now 6 months old.
Okay.
And when I say we hired Vito a tutor, we basically had a dog trainer come to the house. Now, look, what has become apparent to us, and we knew this when he was still with us, is Rocky was a very easy dog to train. Mm-hmm. Super smart, very inquisitive, took the potty training really quickly. Everything was good. Now, Vito is 6 months old. I mean, depending on who you ask, he's either a teenager or a puppy or both. So yes, like he's a little ball of energy. He loves to play. But the one thing that he does that we just have not been able to break him of yet is that when he plays, he still likes to bite.
Got it. Okay.
And we've tried, listen, I've watched videos. I love dogs. I've read stuff about like how you're supposed to break him of that. And like, it's just not working. And then like when I come home from the gym or like work, if I'm traveling, he's just total love bomb. And when I say he bites, it doesn't hurt. Like he's obviously playing. He's not nipping. He's not biting to hurt. He's just like taking his mouth and just like taking your hand or your feet or your pant leg and like tugging at you like play. Mm-hmm. We just can't get him. We couldn't get him to break him of that. So there's a local company here called Clever Dogs. Now, Clever Dogs offers a whole bunch of different dog training. And for the record, we never took Rocky to any kind of like puppy kindergarten. We never took him to any classes or anything like that. But we're like, you know what? I was like, the window for training him is closing.
Yeah.
Right. Because as they get older, like there's the reason we say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But the window for training him is closing. So I'm like, you know what? I went on this website and like they have one-on-one coaching and you can either take them to their facility or they can come to you. I was like, you know what? It wasn't that much money. So we had them come to us and like they came over and man, what a cool job. First of all, it was a really good experience. Like you can tell that they're really good at being dog trainers and like kind of like, as a result, like good human trainers because she was giving us just as many cues as she was giving him.
Yeah. Because they have to teach you what you need to do so you're consistent.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And she was just like, she was very pleasant, but she was just like very matter of fact, like do this. Here's what he's doing. Do this. And it was just like, it was really good. So it was like, it was an hour long session. And in that hour, we got like so many new tips and tricks, not ticks, tips and tricks for helping with him. And already we're putting some of those to use and he's doing pretty good. And like his potty training's good. Like he's like in the 95th percentile well. Now, he still has a couple little fuck you accidents here and there, but that's just what dogs do, right? Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking for a dog trainer in Central Ohio, Clever Dogs, really, really good.
Clever dogs.
And like she came out, spent her hour, and then she was going to teach another class, and like, I asked her towards the end, I was like, do you think that he would be ready to do like one of the regular training classes? She's like, absolutely. She goes, he doesn't bark. I was like, yeah, he doesn't really bark that much. He only barks if you startle him. Like if Mandy goes to bed and he goes to bed with her, if I come up from downstairs and I make a little too much noise and it startles him, he'll bark. But like he looks out the window all day, doesn't bark. He'll growl when he plays, doesn't bark. Doesn't bark at other dogs on his walks. Just kind of a chill dog in that respect. And that's really all they were looking for, is to make sure that like he's not going to do that.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty good experience. I mean, like I said, I'd never done that before, and I would definitely do it again.
Excellent.
Yeah. Boy, it ended up being a pretty heavy Drew episode, huh?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I got shit too. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, but I love Drew's Computer Corner. I love going there. Oh,
okay. Do you want to? We got a little time. Do you want to do yours, or you want to wait?
You know what? Let's just wait.
Okay.
Let's wait.
Well, I'm very curious.
Because mine. I go down rabbit holes. There's building an app and a custom shortcut, and it gets nuts. It gets nuts. So
all right. Well, let's let it marinate. So go ahead and get us out of here.
Doingtheirbest.com. You can find all of the show notes. Also, you probably can find the show notes in your podcast player. Let's be honest. That's where you should go. But if not, doingtheirbest.com. And hey, thanks for listening.